Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to do a video on 5 tips to make your scouting better, which is in turn going to make your season better. So Dylan and I are out today. We're looking at some public land that we have hunted before, but we've never hunted this area. And I'm going to use this to kind of tell you guys tips to make your scouting better and make you a more successful hunter in the long run. So the very first tip is creative access, and this is something you see on a ton of channels because it's true. I mean, if you can creatively access an area where nobody else can, you're going to be able to get to areas nobody else can. Less pressure is going to equal better hunting, almost always. So for example, Dylan and I accessed with a boat today on this lake, and we're going to run up and down the banks of this lake, and we're going to access a ton of areas that can only be accessed via the boat. And again, it's a creative access thing. Another idea for creative access: kayaks, basically watercraft in general. Something else: knock on private landowners' doors and just ask to cross their land to get into public. You guys are gonna have to forgive me, the lighting is not the greatest here in the woods. So anything like that, anything that you can do to creatively access an area. Mountain bikes are something I've seen people doing. You know, just you name it. It's, if you can figure out a way to get to somewhere somebody else can't, you're gonna do better. So tip 1, creative access is always gonna make your scouting better, which is gonna make your hunting better. Okay, tip number 2 to improve your scouting is have a plan. Be malleable in your plan, but have a plan. Don't just say, I'm gonna scout this 700-acre block. Pick out specific things in that block you wanna scout. For example, right now, it's kind of tough to tell on the camera, but we are standing in a very thick, nasty area that is inside hardwood timber. So basically what happened is I got on the map and I found the thick grown area, and I decided I wanted to check that out. Just off the corner of this thick grown area, there's a pond. I decided I want to check that out. So I have those two in mind, and that's what we're in here doing. You want to maximize your time in an area while minimizing the amount of impact you make. And this goes for any time of year. Now, we're out here in the summer scouting. I'm less concerned about blowing deer out of their beds and stuff. As you can hear, I'm talking fairly loud. So I'm less concerned about blowing deer out of their bed this time of year, because by the time I get back in here to hunt, they should be fine, because I'll only come in here once. I'll come in, I'll check everything out thoroughly, and I'll get out. So, like I said, have a plan. Now, be malleable. Maybe you get in here and you find another edge that you couldn't see on the map. It's okay to check that out, but make sure you have small areas picked out, not 700-acre blocks where you're going to walk the whole thing. That's going to take all day plus. Pick out small areas and focus in. Tip number 3, use some kind of mapping thing on your phone or a GPS. I'm using onX, but HuntStand, HuntWise, anything that's a mapping tool that you're familiar with and can use is going to work. I just use onX because it's what I'm familiar with. I've used HuntStand in the past, it's also fine. So I have no particular preference really. I mean, I have a preference in onX, but what you use doesn't matter to me. Just use a mapping software and make sure you take plenty of notes. This is huge. When you find an area you like, notate where it is, how you entered, what winds it would be good to hunt. We do this specifically for beds. So if we find a bed we think it's going to be good for deer. Sorry, I keep having to switch arms, guys. Freaking thing's heavy. God, you're a peach. Dylan took the camera from me. So basically we find beds, and when we find a bed we're like, okay, what winds is this deer going to bed here? We'll put that in the notes. Deer will bed in a northwest wind, we'll just say. Then we're going to say, all right, how do we access it when the deer bed's there? And we'll put in the notes. We'll access it from here. We'll take and put a pin on a tree, take a picture of the tree. How are you going to access the tree? Detailed notes so you can make a really strict plan when you get in. Is going to help you kill more animals. Tip number 4, real simple one: hydration. If you're going to be out scouting for a long period of time, especially in the summer, you need to stay hydrated. Not only is it a health and safety concern, it's going to allow you to have the energy to continue to scout. You're not going to end up cutting sessions short because you're tired or you're worn out or something like that. Same goes for snacks. I have a backpack full of snacks because I like to eat, but also because during scouting it's important to have that extra little bit of energy kick when you need it. You're burning a lot of calories, doing a lot of walking through thick, nasty stuff. Make sure you have plenty of hydration and plenty of snacks. Alright y'all, tip number 5. Always scout with a buddy who's willing to work as hard as you are. It's always nice to hunt with friends, but it sucks being the guy that's doing all the really hard work and going through the thick stuff when everybody else is sitting at home or doing whatever. And I understand that some people have other obligations. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on a free Saturday, you get a hold of your buddy and said, hey, you want to scout? And he's like, yeah, let's go scout. And then you're 500 yards back and he's like, man, this is far enough. Like, I've seen what I need to see. It's gonna kill your productivity in scouting, and it's gonna kill your productivity during season 2. So find you some people or a buddy, one, as many as you can really, because the more eyes you have out there scouting, the better off you're gonna be. But find as many as you can that'll work as hard as you do, and stick with them, because it makes a lot of difference. Not to mention, it's a lot more fun to scout when you've got somebody else to BS with and basically go through hell with. When you're walking through a thorn patch and it sucks, that's gonna be a fun story you tell later. So that's the final tip, guys. I appreciate you so much for watching. As you can tell, I'm sweating. I'm still out in the middle of the woods. We're going to finish up this last loop, and then I think we're going to be done for the day. So like I said, I appreciate you guys watching so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.